So it's April 11th. The biggest development in the whole Brexit process, if you want to call it that, is that Theresa May went yesterday and asked for an extension to the Brexit date. They agreed to 6 months. So what do you think is going to happen in 6 months?
Well, I don't think anything is significantly going to change in terms of Brexit. The EU has said there will be no changes to the withdrawal deal that they have negotiated with Theresa May. I think the biggest change will be in the leadership in the UK. I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet. Whether or not it's Theresa May resigning and a leadership vote happening within the Conservative Party, or a general election where the Labour Party may win.
According to the polls that I've heard about, I haven't seen the polls themselves, but I've heard that Labour is running. Do you think it's possible that there would be a people's vote associated with the European elections?
Well, again, the media are reporting that referendum, people's vote, would actually take 6 months to organize, whereas the government of the UK is preparing to participate in the EU elections in case they cannot sort this out before the end of May. But I think there's going to have to be some public vote, whether it's a general election, whether it's a referendum, and even the European elections may be fought on leave or remain lines.
Sure. I mean, the political parties could use it as an opportunity to say, if you vote us in, you're either for Brexit or for Remain.
Exactly. Although the Conservatives have vowed not to participate in the election, of course that may change, because it's clear that that is a party that is splitting at the seams right now.
And even with the leadership change within the Tory party, you will still have the same divisions 5 months from now, 4 months from now that you have today. You've got the Brexiteers that are firm in their opposition to remaining in the European Union. You have groups of people that are variously either remain in the EU or want to have a soft, managed exit from the European Union. So, you know, whoever becomes the leader of the Conservative Party has that to contend with.
And they will also still have a minority in Parliament.
That's right.
So the numbers don't change in Parliament. It's not because you have a new leader that you're suddenly going to be able to get Brexit through.
So what happens if they have a general election and the Labour Party wins and gets a majority? They're still saddled with the issue of Brexit, no Brexit.
They are, and they have as divided opinions in their party as the Tories do.
Sure. They had a big defection of 7 or 8 members to form the independent group.
That's right.
2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Who will also be contesting the elections.
I think the biggest problem with this whole process is the faith in politics of people. People are frustrated, and the way politics are being conducted in the UK just shows that the polarization and the opposition to each other cannot survive a national crisis, cannot overcome a national crisis.
Perhaps, and I'm sure that there are a fair number of British voters that feel frustrated with the current political environment. But my sense is that the British public is also equally split. You have those that are firm for Brexit, although increasingly you're having people who are coming out saying, I voted for Brexit, but now I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the implications to a lot of things.
Well, I was reading this morning that this delay, the further delays mean that the farther away you get from the original referendum. And the Brexiteers know that the farther away you get from the original vote, the more people have changed their minds. And so their conviction on a hard Brexit becomes less and less viable without going back to the people and consulting the people.
Our good friend Nicholas White has always maintained that there would likely be a hard exit from the European Union. So that would mean borders in Ireland or around the island of Ireland. It would mean having to start from World Trade Organization agreements and negotiating trade agreements with Europe, with the rest of the world. How likely do you think a hard Brexit is? If you had to...
I think it's as likely today as it was yesterday. I don't think that this extension has eliminated the chance at and a no-deal Brexit.
And of course, it's only, I don't have my watch on, but we're probably an hour away from the resumption of the House of Commons, where it's expected that Theresa May will make some sort of statement about the Brexit process. So everything that we've talked about here in the last few minutes may change dramatically given what statement she
And I
has
keep
made.
thinking that someone on her team or Theresa May herself actually has some plan, has thought about something, and every time they negotiate an extension or she's in Parliament, I feel like I want her to come out and say, actually, this is what we're going to do, and we'll all say, oh, now that makes sense why she's been doing all of this.
But hasn't that been the problem all along?
Yes.
People have these ideas of, oh, we'll leave the European Union and we will be the old Britain that we were, 50, 60 years ago. But what is the real plan? What does it look like in Ireland, for example? How will that impact trade and farmers, the milk products that have to go across borders? Hasn't that been the problem, that nobody has come forward beyond we're leaving? We have certain international obligations and agreements that we have to put in place, but what is the plan for everyday life?
Not just that, but some more significant aspects, such as the Good Friday Agreement. Yesterday was the anniversary of the signing of the Good Friday Agreement, and the reconciliation that has happened in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. Nobody has thought about that, it appears, in terms of how Brexit will affect that. A hard Brexit means that there will be soldiers on the border between Ireland and Northern Ireland again.
Maybe not soldiers, but customs officials and some policing. That would
Some sort of
necessarily occur.
policing, and that's not going to be acceptable.
Yeah.
So
That's what we're thinking about today.
that's what we've been thinking about for a long time.
And longer time to consider it.